all that and all this is what we had to cut out of our neighbor's tree because her cable is right here and it has wore holes in our cable, and every time the wind blew we'd lose cable and internet.
And how do we know this?
How do we know this?
Because I went and got the water hose and soaked it down.
I was talking about the wind, and now I'm going to talk about the rain. When it rains, first drop of rain, we would lose internet and cable. And now that we've cut the limb out of it, you can absolutely see where it's wore a hole through it. And so we got them coming out Wednesday. Who knows, I may have some decent internet. Okay, I've had a chance to catch my breath. And I put my ladder away. My wife put our loppers and saws away. So, as you saw, the tree that we cut was not on our property. And I think you can guess whose property it's on. The mean lady that's just given us fits over the time we've lived here called the police on us, and just over and over and over, it's always something that we've done that she doesn't like, and does her best to cause trouble. The last time it was our fence, and it took the city getting involved. She actually got a lawyer to contact the city, and the city actually sent someone out here. They're so sick of that lady and the trouble that this fence has caused needlessly. That's the fence I'm talking about, that fence. And the reason we put it up, because those people don't like us. And we don't want to look at them, and they clearly don't want to look at us. So, anyway, the city got involved, and they sent their guy out here, and the survey stakes are still there, and our fence is at least a foot inside our property line. And that's verified by the city's own dude. So they told the lady, that's the end of it. We're not, you know, there's no other problems that we're going to have over this fence. The fence is legal. They got a permit. They put it well inside the property line. There's absolutely, what she was saying was that she had a right to access our driveway. I have no idea why she would think that's okay. But anyway, that was the end of it for a long time. No more trouble. And I think the fence keeps her from looking over here and finding things that could possibly aggravate her. So my wife and I are out there cutting the limbs that are over the fence that are growing into our cable. Okay, it's cut our cable off. The internet and cable, it's wore a hole clean through the cable, her tree. So we were trimming carefully, and we have a legal right to do so, 100%. I mean, that's established in every state, that branches and limbs that hang over your property, especially ones that are causing your property damage, you can cut them. And so we were out there cutting, and what do you think she did? She come out there and put her sprinkler. I've never seen her put her sprinkler on before. She comes out there, and we're real quiet. We're not using a chainsaw. We're using a very quiet pruning saw, hoping we can just get this pruned with no drama and no trouble and no police involved. So she drags a hose out there, puts a sprinkler on it, turns the sprinkler on, and it's not quite getting to us because it's the tree that's blocking the water from getting on us. And you know what I told that lady? I said, you know, if you ever need any help over there, limbs cut, I got a chainsaw, and I'd be more than happy to come help you. And that is how you fight evil. Not with more evil, with kindness. And evil shirks from kindness and, you know, the natural human love that one human should have for another. And I mean it. If she needs help, I'll be over there with my chainsaw, and I will cut limbs. I will help her. And she can continue being a vindictive, spiteful, mean old lady, and I will go on being a helpful, kind, loving neighbor. And that goes for all my neighbors. Anyway, that's the story. I thought it was hilarious. And even if the water got to us, it is humid and it's very hot. So if the water had gotten on us, that'd have been even better. But it's just funny that There's just no other way she can get us now. The fence thing is over. And the last time I cut trees to get our home in here, her trees were hanging over into our driveway. And there was no way to get that house in here without ripping shingles off and pulling vinyl off. So I went to the fence and I trimmed up. And all the way down the road I had to do that. And none of the other neighbors had a problem but her. So anyway, there's really not much else she can bother us over. And I mean it. If she has a limb come down or has a problem, I'll help her. I'll help her, and I mean it. And she has my phone number, so there you go. So I have a little addition to the last clip. My wife called me, and what happened was we finished up there, and she drug the pruners back and put them in the shed, and I drug the ladder all the way back down to the garage where I hang the ladder on the side of the garage. And my wife walked back up there to close the gate, and that lady had shut her water off. When we stopped working out there, she come out and turned her sprinkler off. Man, I tell you, how do you invest that much of your life into being evil and being evil to people? I don't know. You know, I get a lot of this same kind of evilness in the comment section. Not in my everyday videos, but my videos that stay up a long time and do well and attract a lot of viewers. You know, because it's like, I'll give you an example. I have one where Bev had mice that were climbing up, getting in her dryer vent, crawling through the dryer and getting in her, crawling all the way into the dryer and then getting in her house and pooping in the bottom of her dryer and stuff like that. So I put this hardware cloth over the dryer vent, just enough to keep animals from getting up in there. And then we put some glue traps in her bottom of her dryer and caught the mice, and that problem has never happened since. And you would not believe the comments I get telling me, number one, I'm evil for using a glue trap, or number two, that I'm going to catch your house on fire because you know, it's against building codes. And I mean, and they don't just say stuff like that, they got to call me names for doing this. And this video is I'm talking 4 or 5 years old, and the hardware cloth is still there. Nothing bad has ever happened. There's never been any more mice. The hardware cloth I've got covering has not covered up with lint. And that's what they're saying, that I'm going to catch the brick house on fire because I have got hardware cloth covering the dryer vent to prevent birds and rodents from getting in it. That's just an example. I've got a million of them. And, you know, for a while I was going to save all these videos, all these comments rather, and then do a video on it. But I don't even want to do that. I deleted them all. And because I just don't want to give those kind of people any more airtime. And that's the kind of lady. She's just, instead of in my comment section, she's just real life. And it's just, I told my wife, it's hilarious, but as much as it's funny, it's truly sad. I'm sad for that lady, that she is so ate up with evilness that, I don't know, there's no correcting her. There's no bringing her back from that level of darkness. And the rest of her life, all she'll know is hate and anger and unpleasantness and ill will. And you know, I go to great lengths to avoid that. Which is why I said I would come over there and cut limbs. If she needed me to cut a limb or two, I'd be happy to help. So anyway, I just thought that was funny. The minute we were done out there, she came out and shut her water off. Well, I planned on coming down here. This morning I didn't plan on cutting them limbs up there. I planned on coming down here and going to my buffing room and doing some work in there, changing some pads. And I was going to do a little basic tutorial, I guess, or instructional video explaining my process of getting polished finish on knives. And I'll do that tomorrow, so that'll be up Monday. This will be Sunday morning's video because it is Saturday. But all I've actually done out here is I had some 3-drawer ones out here, 2 of them, and I had these 5-drawer ones in my leather shop. So I took the 5-drawer ones and put them down here, and what these are drums that I cut from 4-inch. I don't know where I got them. I had a whole bag full of them. I had probably a dozen or more 4-inch drums, and they're I cut them on my bandsaw to 1-inch lengths, and then let's see. This is the drum sander that I use for them. So I'm gonna use up all my 3/4 drums, and then I'm sticking with the 1-inch by 1-inch from now on. And I have ordered 100 of these. I've got the 100 here, and I've got 120 that are on back order. They're made in America, so it won't take that long to get them, but the 120s will go here. And whenever I do get all these 3/4 used up, I'll move all my 120s, my 1x1s over here. These are the 1x1s. And the 120s are the ones I really need. The 80 grits, I think these are 80, right? Did I say 80 or 60? Yeah, they're 60. I don't use them a whole lot. And to tell you the truth, I bought 100 of these a couple of years ago, and that's what I have left after a couple of years. So I get a lot of use out of these. I mean, they last a long time. So when I replace them, it lasts me a year or more. Okay, that's it for today. I'm going back to the house. And tomorrow, I'll come out here and put them new pads on. And so Monday's video will be I don't want to say tutorial because I'm not actually doing any polishing, but I'm just going to explain my process and why I have so many wheels. And I have 3 buffers with 2 wheels on each buffer, and I'll explain that tomorrow.